John had already been hanging upside down for over 12 hours. What happens to the human body after hanging upside down for that long? Blood begins pooling inside the head and cannot properly return to the heart. The face swells and deforms. The brain becomes congested with blood. At the same time, gravity forces all internal organs downward onto the lungs, compressing them so they can no longer expand normally. The heart struggles harder and harder to pump. Fluid slowly begins leaking into the lungs. Eventually, the alveoli fill with fluid until the victim essentially drowns from the inside. To keep John conscious long enough for the rescue, the next person to enter the cave was Ryan, a lifelong caver who had been exploring caves since the age of 4. His father was one of the founders of the Utah Cave Rescue Team. Ryan crawled above John and used a long tube to feed him water. He also lowered a walkie-talkie so John could speak with his family. One by one, John's parents and his wife Emily spoke to him. Emily begged him to hold on. Ryan reassured him, saying, "We're going to get you out." John asked Ryan to tell his wife that when their second child was born, he would be there. Later, John began experiencing hallucinations, seeing things that did not exist. At 4 p.m. on November 25, after nearly 20 hours upside down, the pulley system was finally ready. 8 rescuers knelt in a line, gripping the ropes tightly. Ryan positioned himself closest to John's ankles. The ropes slowly tightened. Tiny scraping sounds echoed between the rocks as John's body moved upward inch by inch. What nobody realized was that behind a natural rock arch lay a razor-sharp edge. With every pull, the rope had been slowly sawn apart. Then, during another hard pull, the rope snapped. 2 steel carabiners and 2 pulleys shot backward like bullets from the recoil, smashing directly into Ryan's face. Half his face was instantly torn apart. His tongue was nearly split in 2. Ryan collapsed unconscious. At the same moment, John slid back into the crack, his head violently striking the rock wall again. When Ryan regained consciousness, his mouth was filled with blood. With help from the others, he was carried out of the cave. Outside, Ryan's father Dave, a rescuer with 29 years of experience, watched his son emerge covered in blood. He was horrified, but he knew John's condition inside the cave was even worse. After Ryan was evacuated to the hospital, Dave personally crawled into the cave himself. He tried rebuilding the damaged pulley system and even drilled holes into the rock wall inside the crack. But by then, John no longer had the strength to assist in any way. In reality, this marked the end of all hope. At 1:56 a.m. on November 25th, after being trapped for 27 hours, John was officially pronounced dead. Doctors later said that most people could survive only around 8 hours in such a position. Through sheer willpower, John endured more than 3 times that long. The real reason rescuers could never free him was the 70-degree angle of the crevice combined with the fishhook-shaped rock lodged beneath his ribs.